So with this setup, I have the Fuji X-T3 for taking pictures, we have the GoPro to record the footage, and I usually just leave it recording from start to finish, and then I deal with all the footage that didn't make sense in post. And then we have the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus that records the audio of the subject I'm talking to, and we have the Rode SmartLav for recording my own voice, and in post I can easily switch between these two channels. Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to Binge. Hey, what's up guys? Today is the day. We're gonna take a look at the gear that I use to make my GoPro street photography videos. Here we have my primary camera for street photography, and wait just 2 seconds, let me just wipe the screen off, it's kind of gross. There we go. This is the X-T3, my primary camera for street photography. I do have other cameras that I use for street like the Ricoh GR2 and the X100F, but the X-T3 is my primary. The image quality of this camera is great, also if you prefer to shoot JPEG straight out of the camera. I personally shoot all of my photos in RAW and edit all of them in Capture One. The color science of the X-T3 is pristine. Here's an example of a photo I took with the X-T3 and I really liked how the colors came out. It comes with an electronic viewfinder and an LCD screen, and it can flip for low angle shots, but unfortunately it can't flip all the way around so you can see yourself for vloggers. And look, I'm not gonna bother you with all the specs. I put a link to the gear that I'm using in the description. But I have to say, if you're a videographer, the 4K 60 FPS is very welcome. And if you use an external monitor like I do, then you can record 4K 422, which gives you a lot more colors for your color grading. Alright, moving on. As you guys know, when I do my videos, I have a GoPro mounted on top of my camera to show my point of view. And that's what drew me actually to YouTube in the first place. I'm always doing my street photography by myself, so this is just a really cool feature, I think. Let's start assembling this. So this is the GoPro that I use. It's the GoPro 7 Hero Black. And this is the case that I bought. It doesn't follow when you buy the GoPro, but I'll put the links to it in the description. And let's just attach it right here, and then we add the GoPro into the case, and whoopsie, we're done. And this is actually the setup that I used in the beginning when I started doing my street photography videos. But as you guys know, or most of you, the GoPro audio is really bad. So I did like every other YouTuber, and I bought the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus and a dead cat that works as like a wind protector to improve my audio. As you may have realized right now, I have two different devices. I have the GoPro and I have the microphone that both fits into a hot shoe. But my camera only has one hot shoe, which brings me to my next point. Introducing the cornerstone of my street photography setup, and you'll see why in a second. So I use this camera cage from a company called Small Rig, not to be confused with Tiny Rig. They specialize in making custom camera rigs for every big camera brand, and it's a must for doing the videos that I do. And being from Denmark, the country that brought you Lego, the whole assembling and customization part is really cool. And they were kind enough to send one of these to my channel, and that's really dope because my channel is not the biggest one in the world, so yeah, shout out to Small Rig. Alright, let me just assemble it for you like this. Now you see we have two hot shoes, and yeah, it's solid, it doesn't move, great. As you can see with the cage on, we keep the camera's hot shoe available, and we have a new cold shoe that I can mount my GoPro on, which is nice. I need to talk to you about this one. This is the Gopro Adapter, and because GoPro is being GoPro, you need to buy their kind of expensive adapter in order to add an external mic to your GoPro setup. Oh, and by the way, that's the cool thing about this GoPro case. It's that it fits the GoPro adapter nicely. So yeah, that's why I bought that one. And then we have the video mic that we attach in the camera's hot shoe like this. So there we have it. Or at least that's what I thought. I thought this was it. I thought all I needed was one mic like Nas. But I was wrong. The Rode VideoMic Pro is a directional mic, which means it's great at capturing the audio that is in the direction it's pointing towards. So when I talk to my subjects, they have great audio because the mic is pointing towards them. But because I'm standing behind the mic talking to them, then my audio is really bad. Which brings me to the grand finale of this setup. My second mic, the Rode SmartLav. And the purpose of this mic is of course to record my audio. So we have audio for the subject and for me. And because I don't want a wire between me and the camera, I use the Rode Wireless Go system that, you guys guessed it, connects the audio from my lavalier to my GoPro wirelessly. So it goes like this. I attach my lavalier to the Rode Wireless Go and stick it in my pocket. And then I attach the receiver on top of the GoPro cage. And this is all great, but there's only one audio output in the GoPro adapter. So I use this little thing called a splitter that I put into the GoPro, and then I can record audio from my VideoMic Pro Plus and my lavalier at the same time. And to secure my audio a little bit better in the GoPro adapter, I bought this little L mount that keeps it a bit more firm. And look, this setup is by no means perfect, and it probably never will be. But if you have any ideas on how I can optimize it, let me know, and I'll see you in the comment section. So that's it guys, now we're done. Let's give it a little shake. It's solid, and I still think it's light enough to be handled with one hand, and yeah. So with this setup, I have the Fuji X-T3 for taking pictures, we have the GoPro to record the footage, and I usually just leave it recording from start to finish, and then I deal with all the footage that didn't make sense in post. And then we have the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus that records the audio of the subject I'm talking to, and we have the Rode SmartLav for recording my own voice, and in post I can easily switch between these two channels. This is actually the setup I'm filming with at the moment. It's a little bit different from the one I showed you guys because I made a mistake and I put the GoPro very close to the microphone, so the microphone went into the frame of the GoPro. So now the GoPro is all the way to the side, to the left, and the microphone is all the way to the right. And I changed from the dead cat to the default thing on the mic because the dead cat can blow in front of the GoPro and we cannot have that right. So this is what I'm shooting with, and I mean, it's really not pretty. As you can see, I'm not sure what to do here, and I would love to hear you guys what you think is the best solution for me to make it more compact. If I can change cables or have fewer cables, I'm all ears, but this is how it looks. Alright, that's the rig. Let's take a look at some of the lenses that I use for my photography. Let's start with this one. This is my portrait lens. It's the 56mm 1.2, and it's the first lens that I bought for my Fuji camera. And it comes in at around $1,000, so it's one of the more pricier Fuji lenses. It's a 56mm focal length, but since I used the Fuji X-T3 that has a crop sensor, it's more or less an equivalent of 85mm. So you need to manage your distance pretty well because you need to be a little bit far away to get the whole subject in the photo. But to me, this is the best portrait lens that Fuji has made. And it's also one of my favorite lenses because I do a lot of street portraits, and for that it's perfect. Next up is what I and a lot of other people consider Fuji's best street photography lens. And it's the 35mm 1.4, which is an equivalent of a 53mm on a full frame sensor. But like, which focal length is best for street photography is also very subjective. I mean, it's usually between 28, 35 and 50mm, where this would be around 50mm equivalent. But if I only could own one single lens from Fuji, this would be the one. I think it can do whatever you need it to do, and it's a good middle range. Some might prefer like a focal length of 35 or 28 instead. But yeah, this is my personal favorite when it comes to street photography. And if you follow me on Instagram, you also know that this lens will be featured in my next video. Alright, last but not least, we have this one. And this is a weird one. This is the 16mm 1.4, and it's a 24mm equivalent on a full frame. This lens does not scream street photography. This lens was probably made with like architectural and landscape photography in mind. But I bought this lens because I thought it could be fun to see how my street photography would look on a really wide angle lens. The aperture of this lens is 1.4, which is really nice, especially for like low light situations, if you want the sexy bokeh, or if you want to do photography at night. Even if it rains, I mean, I think this would be a cool lens to go out in the rain and do these cityscapes or long exposures for that matter. I haven't used it as much as I want to, but I'm really excited for this one. And the first lens that I showed you, the portrait lens, it has a minimum focusing distance of 50 centimeters, which means that you have to be at least 50 centimeters away from your subject to make a sharp image or for the lens to focus. But the minimum focusing distance of this lens, the 16mm 1.4, is 15 centimeters. So now I can actually make some really nice close-ups and maybe even macro photography that I would like to see if I can do something cool with for my street photography. These are the three lenses that I use right now for photography, and for video I use the kit lens because it has optical image stabilization, so I can walk with my camera without shaking too much. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and shout out to Benjamin with Babish. I hope he's cool with me stealing his format for this video. Until next week.